Hello there and welcome back to DropShotTalks. Today we're going to be discussing the US Open as it's happened so far, and with the women's final upcoming and the men's semi-final about to begin tonight. We're just going to discuss how things have what things have happened so far, and where I believe things are going to go. And how the tournament is going to be looking by Sunday. So let's just go into the 5 of the biggest moments of the tournament so far. So we've got, I think, speak about Daniil Medvedev. I think he had a bit of a wild tournament in his first round loss. He was playing Benjamin Bonzi, or Bonzi, I'm not sure. And as a photographer was walking on the court, Medvedev was losing the match, and he was down to some of the last points of the match. A cameraman walked on the court, and Bonzi had to stop serving, and Medvedev went on an absolute mad one, basically, which meant that he sort of created a massive raucous for the crowd, where everybody was going crazy pretty much, and I don't know, it was interesting. It wasn't very sportsmanlike from him, but I don't know, there was something about it that I sort of liked for some reason. It's just because in tennis we need these sort of personalities, and although some parts of it were a bit strange, I personally found it quite funny with him sort of pretending to lick the lollipop or whatever he was doing for some reason, and he's paid the price for it. He's received a fine of $42,500 for unsportsmanlike conduct, and his slightly small racket abuse. So yeah. It was definitely interesting to see, a little bit controversial, but I don't hate it for Daniil Medvedev, although it's not obviously the tennis that we love to see. Djokovic is going to be playing in the semi-final tonight. He's making a lot of history at 38 years old. I think he now becomes the oldest man to reach all 4 Grand Slam quarterfinals in the same season, and extends his record with 64 Grand Slam quarterfinal appearances, which is pretty crazy records for him. And yeah, he's playing Alcaraz tonight. I don't think it's going to fare too well for him, just with Alcaraz, his energy and youth. But wow, what an unbelievable achievement to be doing this, and to beat Taylor Fritz, who's in the prime of his career, playing the best tennis of his career, and just to beat him, not with ease, but to beat him comfortably is really impressive. Coleman Wong had a pretty historic run for Hong Kong. He made history as the first man from Hong Kong in the Open era to win a match at a major, and reached the 3rd Grand Slam, which was a really unbelievable achievement, and something Hong Kong, I'm sure, will be very, very proud of. Elena Rybakina, who was one of the favourites to win, to win the US Open on the women's side. She was stunned in the 4th round, losing out, which dramatically changed how the women's draw ended up. So with the women's, we're going to be heading into the final on Saturday, tomorrow, where it's going to be Sabalenka versus Anisimova, who beat Swiatek, who got a revenge. You'd have to think Sabalenka is the favourite going into this, but I would really like to see Anisimova win a Grand Slam, especially after the embarrassment of Wimbledon, losing to Swiatek with a double bagel. Yeah, I really like to see her win and do well. But for me, the men's side is looking really exciting heading into the semi-finals. So you got Sinner versus Auger-Aliassime, which is having the tournament of his career, you must say. I think he's just mentioned that he was about to have his engagement next week, which is pretty unbelievable, the week he's got coming up for him. And yeah, he's playing great tennis, but unfortunately, I think the tournament's coming to an end for him. He plays Jannik Sinner in the next round, which is really, really not easy, and I don't think he's got much of a chance. Jannik Sinner has been an absolute machine. Ask Bublik. Yeah, he referred to him as AI, I believe. So yeah, I don't think there's really much more to be said. He's playing out of his mind, and Alcaraz is playing really, really well too, not dropping his sets. So everybody would think it's going to be an Alcaraz Sinner final. Djokovic might have something to say about that tonight. Let's see. But I think Jannik Sinner is looking at the man to beat. Yeah, those are the main points of the tournament. I've been so far. I'd like to just make a quick point about what I found out about a drink from the US Open. It's called a honey juice. Unbelievable the amount of money they're raking in from this drink. It was priced at $23 in 2024. That was how much it cost. They sold over 556,000 honey juices, and they made $13 million just from this one drink, which is pretty unbelievable. It's good marketing from the tournament, and it's a sort of vodka lemonade raspberry liqueur drink, which I wouldn't mind trying myself one day. I would really like to make it out to one of the tournaments one day. And yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted to mention that quickly. That blew my mind a little bit, and also I think there's another drink this year called the watermelon slice for $39. Imagine paying $39 for a drink. Unbelievable. But there's some big players there, I'm sure, at the US Open that don't find that as crazy as I do. But yeah, the US Open is a really, really big tournament for marketing, and it's a different tournament to Wimbledon. It's a little bit more crazy. It's a little bit more sort of media entertaining wise. I prefer Wimbledon just for its traditions, but yeah, the US Open is certainly a good tournament for the players to show their personalities, and I like to watch it a lot. So I'm really excited to watch the semi-finals for the men's and the women's final as well. It'd be really interesting to see how it plays out. The last Grand Slam of the year. So let's see if we can have a new Grand Slam champion in Felix Auger-Aliassime. Can Djokovic really, really just put himself there at the top by a mile, ahead of now Nadal and Federer? Can he really stamp himself as the greatest of all time? Although he would probably be for me at the moment anyway. Or will it be Sinner or Alcaraz? Will we see the rivalry again in the final, which we've seen in so many of the Grand Slams recently? And who will come out on top out of those two? Anyway, just thank you very much for listening to me today. There's going to be much more videos coming up, with more tournaments coming up towards the end of the year. A lot of recap going to be discussed, and yeah, the channel's going to be looking a lot better soon. But I really hope you enjoyed listening to me. Please, if you do, drop your opinions in the comments below. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you listening, and yeah, it would be great to build a little community on the channel. So thank you.